what you love and what you don't. Come out with the boys in the woods.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Welcome. What an exciting week. I think it's been a week so far. We had the birthday boys on last week. That was fun.
Yeah, shout out to Eric, JP, and Cody.
Shout out to those gents. So I found myself watching rugby yesterday.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
Now, this takes me back to Diyala province. We spent some time in the Diyala province, and one of the many cool things you get while vacationing on the government's dime is the AFN, the Armed Forces Network, which is a beautiful network that shows many wonderful things. During this time of year, there's specifically, baseball and tennis?
Yeah,
tennis.
Basically.
Yeah, so AFN had a whole bunch of tennis. Apparently, MLB didn't like donating their time to the Armed Forces Network. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they do now. This was a few moons ago. But so that's where I learned tennis. I watched mindless hours of back and forth, and I got to understand it pretty well. So I'm like, maybe I can do that with rugby. Okay, so there's a guy who throws the ball in backwards up over his head as fast as he can, or as high as he can. You can't throw the ball, but you can punch it and smack it and kick it. And depending on who smacks it or kicks it and in what direction they do, they can then pick the ball up, run with it for so far, but then they've got to do this weird bounce thing or pass it via a punch, kick, fucking flop thing. So the refs blow the whistle a lot, stops the play often, and some random ref just comes in, nobody's set up at all, and throws the fucking ball up in the air. At one point, I thought it was 100-46, but I don't think that was the actual score. I think it ended up being like
fucking timekeepers just fucking with you over there in the corner.
16-8. I don't know if it was 16-8. I think that, and then there was like these defensive scores. There was 5-4. I mean, I watched this shit for like 45 minutes, and that's about all I could tell you.
Yeah.
No, what I can say though is that in that 45 minutes, I saw 2 dislocated knees, multiple groin punches, blood all over, a massive brawl, and like 65,000 people in the stands in freezing rain just yelling, screaming at the top of their lungs.
So is that live or?
Yeah, or maybe.
Australia?
Maybe.
Fuck, I don't know what time it is over there.
I have no fucking idea.
Nick, what time is it over there?
What time is it over there? But, yeah, so golly, I got to give it another hour at some point in time, and we'll go from there. Because like I just mentioned at the end, where I'm telling you, 2 dislocated knees, multiple groin shots, blood everywhere, a brawl. I mean, it was intense. I didn't know what I was watching, but it was intense, and definitely grabbed enough attention for me to watch it again here in the very near future. So #GoRugby. And you had sent me a message too the other day, or during this day that I was watching this, and that we've actually got a rugby collegiate team in, what'd you say, OW Oshkosh?
Yeah. Oshkosh has its own rugby league, and I think a guy that I work with might be able to get us in contact with somebody over there and get them on the podcast maybe. Yeah. I mean, at some point here, I would love to, even if we rent out a city hall or something, we get our shit together and we freaking have a little powwow with the locals, you know?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That
luncheon,
would be fantastic. Hand out some shit.
Doing a criminal justice report for the class I've got like 3 weeks left of this class. But I was laughing all week. So this report was basically like police in your community and what the community does in your police. So I find myself on the Nina, PD page.
Oh, yeah.
I was on there for a minute. They've got a beautiful web design, by the way, and one of the better PD websites that I've actually seen.
Yeah.
But there was a handful of things that I just could not get. So at 8:00 in the morning, I find my happy ass in the car driving to the police station, going to interview cops.
Nice.
So I end up interviewing a pretty sweet guy. We will go into details about his name, but it was funny. I was telling him, I'm like, man, it took me 3 days to come down here and waste 5 minutes of your time because I just couldn't find the answers online. But one of the things that was very curious to me was we've made jokes about the DARE program.
Yeah.
On this podcast specifically, we've made jokes about the DARE program. Well, apparently it's not a joking matter in the public administration sense. DARE, and forgive me, it's funny, these words that I'm about to use, and words are so funny. They have the same meaning, they just sound different, right? So I'm going to tell you the DARE program has failed, and people are going to be like, no, it didn't. It did not fail. We're just repurposing it. Okay, why are you repurposing it? Well, it didn't yield the results we had expected, so it fucking failed.
See, you that's to me, this is one of those things that doesn't make any sense to me. You remember this Dare Bear, correct?
Yeah, I guess it's a lion.
No. We never had this. I'm older than you.
Yeah,
we had the fucking puppets, man.
Oh, you had the puppets?
We had the
puppets. Now they've got a Charlie Check First program, which is an additive program to the DARE program. So the DARE program isn't gone per se, as much as it is being repurposed into other acronyms, right?
Now, all right, one question. Just I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
Was the DARE program a government program, like a government funded program for
drug?
Or was it just a local one?
No, drug abuse. Something.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kind of like MAD, but it was,
exactly like MAD. It was the MAD of drugs.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. Yes. Yeah. But it was a government program. Absolutely. Your puppet program was the same thing. There's been this wild war on drugs for a minute.
So, all right. So when Dave Chappelle is going, "Well, beat my dick like it owes me money," that's actually him. That's him making fun of the DARE program, basically. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So now there's this Charlie Check First program, which I looked into it. The one thing that kind of really irked me, it's a .org website, but it's a non-secure .org website. I'm not sure why it's non-secure because it's government funded and a government ran website. So
yeah, you would think so.
I wouldn't spend too much time on that website. I can't tell you anything else why, just in a cybersecurity sense, don't spend too much time on non-secure websites.
Yeah.
But there was quite a bit of information on there, and it looks like they're kicking the Stranger Danger program as well. So Stranger Danger is no longer okay. It's now check and assess the situation. If you can't answer a question in your mind, or if any answer is no in your mind, then run away. Like, oh my God, this seems like a lot.
So it's like that one guy that says, just wait 5 seconds and make your decision. If you haven't made it, just fucking run. Yeah.
So if there's any little kids out there listening, I understand the perception of stranger danger. For one, I don't know what you're doing on here. But let's just say you're living a rockin' life and you found yourselves onto this podcast. Don't fucking talk to any strangers, right? Like, stay by your parents, stay with your family, stay by your friends, stay in a group, and don't be alone.
Yeah, people are weird.
People are fucking weird.
Fucking straight up fucking weird.
Well, that's the first year we lived here in this spot. I was talking to my neighbor about this the other day. Somebody had come knocking on the door, and I was in the kitchen or doing something. I can't fucking remember what I was doing. Yeah. But Rachel opened the door, and it was just some dude. And he was like asking for directions, but attempted to walk into the house while asking for directions. And I came around the corner, and his eyes got huge, and he backed down the stairs super fast. And now I'm walking out my house. I got the door closed behind me. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Like, what the fuck you walking into my house for? What's up, buddy? He's like, oh, man, I'm just looking for directions. I'm like, well, why don't you stop? I got a phone right here. I'll find those directions for you. What are you walking around for? And he kept inching forward a little bit to try and leave. And I'm like, why don't you just stop for a second? He gives me some random ass address 2 miles southeast. I'm like, yo, bro, you should get that bus stop right there. Get on a bus and get the fuck out of here. Right. I said, you don't belong in this area. That's fucking crazy.
Your flop house is fucking over there.
Yeah. Well, apparently a few months before we moved in, there was a few drug houses around here, so, and they all got taken care of super quickly.
Oh yeah.
Looking into the policing of this community, it's fantastic. They do a really good job.
Needham and Asha, Fox Crossing, all do a pretty good job with their police. Don't just let too much bullshit slide.
Well, I was laughing. So Rachel ended up getting a new job, and without too much detail, her last job were fucking weird.
Yeah.
And so much so that they called a health and welfare check on her against me, that they more or less thought that I was either keeping her hostage or killed her. Or regardless, they sent 4 officers, and we all ended up laughing. I opened the door and I was like, listen, guys, I know I'm a combat veteran, but come on, 3 would have been enough. Look at me.
Yeah.
And they all started laughing. I'm like, now my wife's at work. She's actually on lunch right now. Why don't you give her a call? She'll tell you everything's okay. So I looked at the officers. I'm like, so I guess I got to go down there and get the Valentine's gift that was delivered.
Yeah.
About 2 minutes after I'm walking out the door, I get a phone call from the officers that, Mr. Sayers, they refused the delivery. You don't have to go down there. And, well, thanks, officers. You saved them one hell of an awkward conversation.
No shit, right?
Oh, another thing that caught my eye, man. The Big 3 basketball. Have you seen this yet? You watched any of it?
No.
What's your feelings on it?
No, it's a bunch of old fuckers out there trying to relive their fucking glory days. I mean, I don't really know what to think of it. I mean, it's dudes that are in their 40s out there playing freaking Gus Macker.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw on the TV too, man.
$1 million Gus Macker tournament with a bunch of has-beens.
It was entertaining.
Well, I'm sure it is, especially when fucking icing their knees in between fucking timeouts.
So there's no clock.
No, yeah, it's just
there's no clock. The scores actually get up there.
Yeah. They play fucking defense, or they just kind of like let it fucking ride.
There's a little bit of defense. I mean, they're not too. I guess, the best way to explain it is they're old. It's old people playing old people defense. I don't know if making it younger would make a difference. How much defense do you play on 3v3 half court basketball? Defense around the rim, and if you've made 2 3-pointers in a row, I'm not going to give you that shot anymore.
Yeah,
I think that's about as Gus Macker as you get.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to get into some of these weird fucking sports that we were talking about, or no? You want to watch this horse competition? All right, let's freaking roll there. This is from freaking June 2022.
Yeah, so apparently there are people who pretend to be on a horse and do actual horse competitions. This is what we're about to be bringing up. I remember hearing about this briefly.
Well, the fact that there's a lot of people there. It's just crazy to me.
All right.
Look at that. Damn. Come on, Charles. Explain it to everybody who's listening.
I'm just in shock and awe right now. Okay, so you hold a horse head between your legs.
Yeah, there must be a little bit of athletic ability involved in this. I mean, they're hopping over, 2.5 feet.
Well, and they've got to actually
Yes, they're just dancing with the stick between their legs. Oh yes, the pride flags. Of course, put those out. I
can't watch
I've seen enough. I already know exactly what your feelings are in this. I'll give you 5 seconds to come up with the same exact description of this that I'm going to come up with.
I'm sorry. Right. To me, with today's day and age, it just looks like an extreme pervert sport to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because the moment I started watching the videos, I'm like, wait a minute, those aren't adults. Those are kids.
Yeah, and we're not going to do a video for this one because it'll probably copyright thing. But the messed up part about that is it's children, and it's like, what the fuck?
What the fuck did we just walk in? Is this Wayfair all over again?
Yeah, and the fact that it's Finland, it's big. Like it's big. It's like a sport.
Okay, now I don't know. I got to go watch that Sound of Freedom, and then I'll say something else because the Sound of Freedom opens up a little more doors into this world that I want nothing to do with, but apparently should. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy, man. There's so many crazy fucking sports out there though.
All right. Here's the thing. You're betting on a child, and you're betting on her abilities to, in her mind, do the best imitation of riding a fake fucking horse.
Fake horse.
Like not
they
real.
trot. Fake. They trot, and those camera angles were disgusting.
Yeah, it was just like, here you go. Here's the back end of a teenage girl, and you're doing this pervert stuff. It's got to be a bunch of freaking pervos, like for real, like that are watching this. Who the fuck's gonna let their kid do this? Like, fucking weird.
All right, what the fuck is that called again?
It just was competitive horse riding, stick horse riding. I don't fucking know. I put stick horse riding competition. I got that.
Horse riding.
Oh my God! That was the Olympics. In
larger
Finland.
Purses usually mean more competitive races because they attract top quality.
Hobby horse. There's a fucking website for it. Holy shitballs, dude!
Is it Hobby Horse?
Yeah, $400,000 purse. You're shitting me, dude. And it's all it's
$400,000 purse to fake ride a horse. I could fake ride the fuck out of a horse. 400,
dude. Charles, I'm gonna send you this link, but here's the thing: it's towards like college funds and stuff for kids. So they're like trying to wing it, however, basically.
Yeah, you can't be giving a 15-year-old $400,000. The only one I know in the world who was allowed that was Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which I know I blew up his last name. Don't give a fuck.
Right, I'm sending this to you on Facebook.
Oh, Zlatan there.
Get your Facebook on there. Just thumb through these pictures and look at some of this shit. Look at the fucking leaderboard is written in fucking chalk. This is fucking great.
What is happening to this world?
I don't know. I thought that was a real fucking sheep.
The habits of horses. Open in safari.
Yes, the kids make first off, they make their own horse head. And then this one girl's not even, she said, fuck jumping over this thing. I'm just going to walk over it. And then there's an adult lady sitting in a chair, and she must be altering one of the horse's manes or something. This is just fucking
looking
creepy.
Through all those photos. I don't really see a pervert in the background, so I don't feel too bad about it now, I guess.
All right, let's just get away from that. Oh, we fucking can't. Jesus Christ. No, they're not there. They're in the vans parked outside.
The vans, man.
Surveilling the fucking field that this is being, shown in.
It's just too wild sometimes, man. And I hate it too. One of the things I hate the absolute most right now is that how I look at something and go, is there a pervert over there? No.
I see that a lot when when my kids were in sports and I'd go to basketball games and you'd be sitting with the old lady or something and watching the sporting event, and then there's two guys they might have kids playing or whatever, but they're sitting right behind the fucking cheerleaders and shit. And it's why are two grown-ass adult men sitting where the fucking cheerleaders are?
It's always just weird to me.
Weird. I'm not pointing anybody out in particular.
No,
this is just something that I've noticed over the years.
Maybe they're there. Maybe they're there just supporting the alumni.
Sure, yeah. I really want to fucking hope that that's the case, but
400,000.
Yeah, I mean it's scholarship money and whatnot, but still, dude, come on, it's weird. I don't know how else to say it without being creepy. All right, you want to get into it? You want to get into the old Garth Brooks, Tom Segura debate here?
All right, hit me out. Yeah, I'm just sitting here reading about all this horse shit now. Get me out of this world.
Did you happen to look into it? So apparently Garth Brooks, he was on tour. This all started in 2018. Tom Segura and his wife have their own podcast, Your Mom's House, and they said on one of the episodes, he goes, "Yeah, well, fuck Garth Brooks or whatever. He's a serial killer or whatever. He's got." What is he doing with the bodies or whatever? I think he's just fucking with them. But then he started like poking the bear. Then he started commenting on Garth Brooks's freaking like Twitter posts and stuff. And Tom's been trolling him for like 3 fucking years now. 3-4 years with this shit. And I guess Garth Brooks finally blocked him. And that's when Tom Segura came out with all the t-shirts and stuff like that. So he just can't take a joke apparently. But I guess it must really be affecting him. That and the Bud Light thing that Garth Brooks did too. You've heard about that, right?
I heard Garth Brooks say something about people are fucking idiots for the Bud Light thing.
Oh,
blah blah.
He owns like a bunch of fucking bars or whatever, and like he was like, "Oh, you guys won't come drink my fucking Bud Light beer or Anheuser-Busch beer or whatever." And so yeah, he was like basically outing all the people for not coming and supporting his bars. It's like, dude,
he's a crybaby bitch.
Well, that's the other thing. Have you not been watching the fucking news or the TV? Lately,
you just got to be stupid. It was my biggest problem with the Bud Light thing, and I guess I'll just say it right here on the air. It's not what they did.
No, it's not.
It's who his followers or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Children.
His followers were their children. So who the fuck was Bud Light trying to impress? Children.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. You could put any other person on there. It wouldn't matter what they.
It would not have mattered. I don't give a fuck. Put the whole flag on there. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you do. Right. Leave the fucking kids alone. Why are you going after some dude or what? Again, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
With a following of children.
Yes, we don't advocate for that stuff. I mean,
oh my god, and that's the other thing too, right? It was explained to me the absolute very best. Go ask your parent for a tattoo. See what they tell you. You might not like it when you grow older, but you can chop my fucking dick off?
Yeah, fucking dickless.
What the fuck? I've been telling everyone I run across that happens to bring up the conversation because in light of what my Facebook is and what I like to talk about online, it's not my everyday chatter. I talk about this very little, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm sure that we're friends, on Twitter, and you see stuff I post, I see stuff you post. A lot of it falls within the same lines. Sometimes you take it a step farther than I do, but you've seen some of the posts that I post too. Like I always comment if somebody's posting negativity online and it's toward politics. I always say stop the division, stop the hate.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Poor Hakeem Jeffries, if he ever #search Podfessor P. I fucking light that dude up. He's one of the most diversified motherfuckers I've ever seen. Every other word that comes out of his mouth is some made up shit about somebody on the other side being a baby. Jesus Christ, dude, just do your fucking job.
I got a good one for you. So I hope he listens to our podcast. This Ohio State fan. How did you say it?
Iowa
Date. Yes, he was going at it. He was on a Michigan forum trolling. And so I reached out to him. I said, dude, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast and tell us why you think Ohio State should be better than Michigan this year. And I said, dude, I'm completely honest. Charles and I will listen to you. We'll let you talk. Everything. We'll debate you and everything that you say. I said, but we welcome you on. We're not going to be assholes. Hell, we might even send you a hat for coming on.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Don't freaking go on Facebook and talk the talk, and then you won't back it up.
Right.
I guarantee you.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah. Not everybody that listens to our podcast likes Michigan. I make fun of it I leave the helmet in the background for ambiance.
Yeah. We, as Michigan fans, the one thing we're guaranteed is we're going to lose.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of when. Yeah. It's just how it's been over the last decade. Hopefully it changes sooner rather than later.
Right, exactly.
So, oh, wait a minute. I was not looking at the right food dish when I was explaining the nasi lemak.
You got these terms down? You're going to be able to identify this food?
Yeah, absolutely not. Nope, not even a little bit.
Can you describe to the listeners what it looks like?
Yeah. So we're back in Singapore for the delicious dish known as satay. And I'm sure I said that wrong. Satay. Imagine dipping sticks of crisp, glistening meat into a rich, spicy, sweet peanut sauce. That is quintessential. I'm pretty sure I butchered that word too.
Quintessential.
Quintessential. No, I think satay experience, which is loved by the locals so much that it gave birth to numerous open-air food centers dedicated to the dish in the past called satay clubs. I'm sure it's satay, but I just want to make sure. I just want to say satay.
Yeah.
Though those spaces no longer operate, you can still find delicious satay from hawker centers like La Posette, Gluttons by the Bay, and Chomp Chomp. Actually, they look delicious. For those of us here in America, you would call it a shish kebab.
Yes. How mad would your wife be if you fucking made that and said, we're gonna try some exotic meals tonight, and then when you say what kind of meat is it, you're just gonna go, I don't know, iguana. I don't know.
She tried to get me into a cook-off. She said something today. She goes, we should have a cook-off. And I said, why? I said, that's a lose-lose for me. If I beat you, that's not good for me. Now I got to cook everything. I said, and if you win, then I got to listen to about how you won forever.
Right.
You're not somebody that I get to walk away from. You're my wife. I would have to listen to the time I lost the cookout to you forever.
That's just it. They always want you to cook, but then like that one time they complain about how you made it, you're like, well, you asked. Like, you
was laughing so hard.
I liked it.
The last time we went to Texas Roadhouse, she's got this bird thing. She hates birds, and birds hate her. It's weird. I've seen it.
They always follow her.
I've never seen a seagull randomly attack a person, right? Unless and she gets attacked by seagulls all the time.
Oh, Jesus, I got attacked by one in high school on the golf team. John Urban can freaking attest to that.
We're walking by Veterans Park, and there's just these geese, right? Now I can't even think of the word right now because I'm laughing. But anyways, I'm a combat veteran. We'll just throw that out there. And we're walking. And I'm like, watch out, babe. Them geese are going to get you. She goes, don't worry. I'll just grab it, flap it by its neck, and break that motherfucker. Throw it on the ground. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, what happened to this sweet fucking wonderful woman I was walking with? Oh my God. What just, there's people walking by looking at her. We were walking by the car. One dude's like, yeah, that's what you do.
He's like, I want to see it happen. Dude, let's go.
So the last, not this last time, but the time before, we were at the old Texas Roadhouse. I parked at a good parking spot, or so I thought. I get out of the car and I look at her, and she's just sitting there. And what are you doing? And she points, and there's got to be 50 fucking seagulls on the corner of the building. I'm like, just get out of the car. I'm taller. You walk right next to me. If they swoop, they got to go back up, or they'll hit me. Who cares? Oh yeah, no, a couple of them tried it. So sure as shit, this time, you know what I do? I park us away from the birds, and you know what I hear? Park far away, did you? Yes. So I looked at her and I'm like, you know what, baby? The next time you drive and you park us somewhere, I'm going to fucking complain about it.
Yeah.
I was just laughing. That was too funny. All right. And then a popular Singapore myth. Badang and the Singapore Stone. Did you know that Singapore has its very own Hercules, Known as Badang, the poor fisherman lived his humble life by the Singapore River when he realized the water jinn, a spirit, had been stealing his fishes. He set a trap to catch the spirit red-handed. He then confronted the captured spirit, who promised to grant his wish in return for its release. Badang proceeded to wish for superhuman strength and was soon appointed court warrior by the Sultan of Singapore. Warriors from far and wide state started swarming in to challenge the strong man, including India's Wadi Bajai. The two dueled in a series of contests, and the last one saw them lifting a massive rock and throwing it towards the Singapore River. This is where it gets interesting, I thought. The rock was discovered years later at the spot where it was said to have landed. And not just that, there was an inscription on it, probably to commemorate Badang's achievements. However, only a fragment of the rock survives today, as it had been said the Brits blasted it to pieces in 1843. While it's housed in the temporarily closed National Museum of Singapore, you can still see it online through the Singapore Story through 60 Objects link via timeout.com/Singapore/things to do, yada, 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 yada. Now, this is what I found interesting about this. The god dang Brits.
The Brities.
Here we go again with the fucking redcoats and them ruining some shit on planet Earth. In our generation, it was the redcoats. A few moons back, it was probably the Romans and other things, yada, yada, yada. But, you go around planet Earth, and it's kind of hard to find a place that wasn't at one point in time ruled by the redcoats. So in a world where everyone's getting paid reparations for all this random shit, I think the royal family needs to start spending some cash on sorries.
Start
ASAP.
Fingers. Yeah. Bitches.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
We got your back here in the U.S., Singapore. We fucked Britain up.
Yeah.
We are 1-0 against England. The rest of the world, take note. All right? England ain't got nothing anymore.
No.
And actually, I'm making a bunch of jokes. I do feel bad. They are in some crises over there between financially, fundamentally.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole fucking place is built on centuries of history. It's crazy what you can find underneath England.
Yeah, I actually saw a news article the other day about you were talking about that church, how much money they spent on rebuilding that Catholic church that burnt down. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Notre Dame. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
They literally brought over like artisans and like people like woodworkers, like dudes that are like world renowned, and like you're hired because they're the best, and it's got to look like it did back in the day. Yeah.
Dude, and those people were given a blank check, dude. You have no idea. You have no idea how fucking annoying.
Yeah, but see, they lied. They go, oh, these people they come over there, they want to do this, they're volunteering their time. Bullshit, dude. Those people were getting paid. Why did it cost so much money then? If they were volunteering
nothing on that. That's what I'm saying. Dude, the amount of money raised in 3 days on that Notre Dame church.
Yes, and it's
sickening.
It's sickening too, because you would think that it's a church and you'd be doing it for the love of the Lord and for your faith. You wouldn't be doing.
There's something funny
money.
about all of this too. There's actually a pretty interesting story on it too. It is written in the original text that God and Jesus do not want their face plastered anywhere. They don't want buildings. They don't want none of that. And I believe it was removed at some point in time in one of these New Testaments in order to better serve the faith that is today. But I always laugh. I've heard the question before, what would Jesus think if he came down right now? And I'll tell you what he think. I don't know. I'm just me, but I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be pissed. I'd be super pissed. You got these supermax churches and you got people dying on the streets. You got all of these crazy ass things, and you got hunger, and you got children, and you got this, and you got that. You guys got to stop asking what Jesus would think if he came down, because he's going to burn the fuck out of a bunch of you.
What's funny? It makes me think of Ricky Bobby. I like to think of Jesus as the football coach who comes down and says and yells at me and tells me, "You shit fucked up. You done fucked up, boy."
Yeah, everybody better hope it's Ricky Bobby's version.
Yes.
Baby Jesus ain't gonna come down and say shit. But if it's teenage and above Jesus,
yes,
y'all
baby
are
Jesus
fucked.
gonna be loyal.
Oh, so
it's fucking just the weirdest shit ever. Like I don't even understand crazy, like, man. Why the fuck people like ugh.
Smile and wave, dude. Yes. Smile and wave. And it's all you could do. It's all you could do.
I know.
So, well, and which reminds me too, as we are approaching the end of this podcast, this episode, which we should be coming up on a milestone episode here pretty soon. 25, 30, 35.
Oh, we're over 30. We're on 31.
We're on 31. All right, yeah.
We're on 31. This is 32 right here. So.
This is 32 right here. Yeah. So episode 50. We'll try and bring something sweet in for episode 50.
Yes, when we get to 50, even if we record that episode and we end up putting it out at 50, maybe if we get one of these guys that we're talking to on here, well, that'll be our 50 burger.
Our 50 burger.
On to it. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as we like to say at the end of every podcast, you never meet every life you save. So smile more. It works.
Peace. Till next time.